which one of these we use. But
yeah. So then this next one.
She had all the broken bits of crystal.
Yeah. So I loved that. So basically, the crystals were from the drippy, like chocolate look. I didn't initially know that I wanted the crystals like broken up like that, but just the assistants who were helping me make the cherries, they had like gotten the idea to smash them up. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool, guys. I'm gonna put those on my face too. So I really loved that clear plastic. It was like really like like armor. You know, I thought that was really cool, and I thought that would be interesting to make my face kind of look like it had a layer of plastic over it as well, similar to that one photo of Naomi Campbell, and she looks like an alien. Bald. Yeah. So that's immediately what I reminded myself of. That photo in particular is more so, I think that really just stuck in my mind. Yeah. I don't really ever go back to specific people ever to draw inspiration from, because I just don't want to be overly inspired by somebody and then end up looking like them. I really actually hate when I post pictures and people immediately start commenting like, oh, you look like this person, oh, you look like that person. So, and I find that when I do draw inspiration from people, it looks too much like them in my head. Even if it's a subtle reference, I feel like I'm like so like neurotic in my head that I don't like it, so I don't go back to anybody. No, like, honestly.
Following you as a dude, I often feel that you're very, very original in what you do. It doesn't feel it's so. Lots of people reference, and they reference cleverly. And there is a lot of referencing that does go on, especially in fashion. But it doesn't seem to be your case. Your references, and part of the reason I want to talk to you about these is because the references are not easy to spot or to read. Yeah. And what you do does feel original.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, it's really, really important to me, and I feel like in my world, creating art is pointless unless it is original, you know? And as very well may be, somebody could have done this before. I have no fucking idea, but it's not anybody that I know. It's not anything that I've seen before. And I think that is always my driving goal, is to find something that hasn't been done before. Like when I've been styling, or trying to style shoots and stuff, styling myself, and you know, like the creative teams will ask me for mood boards. I'm just like, how the fuck do I send them to it? Because it doesn't exist yet. And that is the problem that I want to continuously run into. I want to have to do, like, you know, with the wax thing, I want to have to do those trials by myself to be able to show people what I'm talking about, because it doesn't exist yet. I'm trying to move forward, not draw from the past, you know? I mean, in my everyday styles, you know, like I'll draw from the past and like, you know, certain like, you know, cultures and just like social groups and stuff, I'll do that. But when it comes to actually making looks, I like to be inspired by colors, by objects, by pieces of clothing, by trash on the street, by somebody you saw walking down the street, you know, 2 weeks ago. Like, I like to do that as opposed to, you know, like finding like, you know, just icons that everybody looks at, you know, like, and then, because I feel like, you know, if I use somebody like Naomi Campbell for a reference, or, you know, like Alexander McQueen, like everybody's just like, there's so many people who are obsessed with them and they love them, they know everything about them, that it's just like, it's immediately going to go back to that, and I am not sure that I can outdo either of them. So why don't I just stay in my own lane and do my own thing and make my own art stemming from me, because it is personal. So,
but all the references that are put out by all the different sort of visual artists there are, from Naomi to Lee McQueen to yourself to whoever, to Lee Barry, you know, they become part of a kind of public, global public communication, if you want. It's the way we express ourselves, and you do pull on things left, right, and centre. But your looks do not seem to come as a sort of wholesale reference. And I think that's a part of the problem when you're starting, say, people are asking you to do your own looks and to kind of, you know, promote your own styling and to promote your own image. And they expect you to tell them what you're going to do. So they ask for a mood board. And it's actually the sort of, what I find the most annoying thing about it. You want to be spontaneous and creative on the day.
Exactly.
You don't want to just rehash something that you've thought of before and kind of you've seen
so
before.
Like other people can like feel that like stability in it. Like I get it, fashion is like, it is also a corporate thing, but we must not forget that fashion, it's an art, it's a cultural thing. That's where it started out. It was not always corporate. It was not always just this big like money hungry thing, you know? And I think that a lot of people need to understand that moving forward in fashion, that it doesn't always need to be a 6-week process of just like, okay, this is what we want to do with lighting, it's already been done before. This is what we want to do with styling, that's already been done before. It's just like, that's how we just like get more of the same. It's just like different variations of it. And I think that people need to start, I mean, obviously a lot of people as well as myself do, but try to be their own reference. So
I think a lot of people don't understand is that people like yourself will do things, and it's not about money.
Yeah.
It isn't about business.
Yeah.
You're not dressing the way you are to make money.
Exactly.
And a lot of what I have a problem with, and I said, you know, there's three evils in a way, and one of them I think is money, because I think money then becomes a raison d'etre to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, it becomes the only reason people make stuff.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, no, this is why we started Show Studio. Show Studio is not a business. It's not here to make money.
Right.
It's here to, you know, support the arts or create the arts or whatever it is, and to make people understand a little bit more about how we create art. But it isn't a business, and
Exactly.
I think that, you know, a lot of people do not understand that some people, like yourselves and like ourselves, you know, we're not doing this to make money. We're doing it because it is the only thing we can do.
Yeah,
there isn't a
exactly.
different route. There isn't another option. We need to express ourselves. We need to make things. We need to create, and we enjoy it.
Exactly.
You know, it's it's the pleasure that we have in life,
Yeah.
and that isn't based on the money we make from it or any idea of the money.
Yeah, most people as artists don't make money. Shit. Like, I mean, I've been doing the same shit for years. I'm fucking dirt poor until about a year ago, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of people as well think that some artists, and including myself, I get comments about it all the time, that I'm doing it to be like attention seeking, I'm doing it for money or whatever, and people think that artists have all of these preconceived intentions on their art, but it's really, I don't know, I think that the people who say stuff like that are not artists themselves, so they just don't get it. You know, like some people have some people's driving passion is family or, you know, like love, money, you know, fucking power. Like everybody has a passion, their driving force that they have to, otherwise they will not feel fulfilled as people. And for us, that's art. And I think that a lot of people don't really get that. But I do feel like artists, it's not easier to be an artist now, but I do think that art is being a lot more socially accepted by a lot more people now that social media is a thing, because it's being put in people's faces, and now they're kind of starting to understand it a bit more.
Yeah, I think so. I think I think when the media or the public expression of the public identity is only expressed through certain small channels like TV, media, which are highly controlled, then of course people don't understand things. But now they're saying there are lots of other ways of being, and lots of other sorts of people in the world, and lots of different opinions. You know, it's a little bit less sort of, you know, we're all this or we're all that. No, we're all lots of things. You know, so this is why I'm quite a fan of social media.
Yeah.
So I think it does give people a much broader view of the world rather than a narrower view of it.